the hell?
What 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 the hell?
Welcome back, everybody. This is What the Hell Should I Watch? And we come at you every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time on stevestebbing.ca. And Chloe, it's going to be a little bit of a different show this week.
Yeah.
We have a lot, there's just a lot of catch up to do with the show when we take a few weeks off a hiatus, things start to pile up. And those things that start to pile up are the things that I'm adding to my library. So I will say this is not a thing that you love when I list off thing after thing that's going into the library, but I'm going to try to punch it up and make it a little bit of fun. But as of today, if you're watching this on the day we release this, happy Halloween, everybody. This is technically our Halloween episode because it is a Friday that Halloween hits on. So it just kind of works out. But this kind of works out as well. It's releasing today because I think I have the scariest movie of the year, and it's not Shelby Oaks because I haven't seen it yet. But I also have everybody's favorite, a music biopic to talk about. I have a Blu-ray that is really just getting a PR person off my back to review because it's really not my type of film and it's seasonally wrong, and I'll talk about that as well. But let's just dig in right now. That's right, fresh for your eyeballs this week. And the last big music biopic that I can remember is A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan film with Timothée Chalamet, which is a film that I raved about. I really, really loved the film. So I'm coming off of a good place for a music biopic. But there is a new music biopic out now, and it is targeting probably one of the biggest names in music. I think everybody's heard this name. This one is called Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere.
Bruce Springsteen's journey crafting his 1982 album Nebraska, which emerged as he recorded Born in the USA with the E Street Band, based on Warren Zane's book. Starring Jeremy Allen White, Jeremy Strong, Paul Walter Hauser, Stephen Graham, and Odessa Young. Written and directed by Scott Cooper.
So you got the Jeremys. You got Jeremy Allen White, who is experiencing award-winning season after season with the Bear.
Yeah.
And of course, 11 seasons of Shameless under his belt, which a lot of people, it seems that the internet or a lot of people forget about that. He's not a fresh face with the Bear. He's been around in television for a long time, but in movies, in big movies, not so much. I would say that this is the biggest thing that Jeremy Allen White has done on the big screen. And going into this film, I was worried. I was worried. I think the same way you were with getting into the Bear, where you see him as a singular character. So now I see him as Carmy, because it's so well established in my head. And I don't think that's a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. But when you know the sound of Bruce Springsteen, you know the style of Bruce Springsteen, you know the movement kind of Bruce Springsteen. I mean, he's been a hit music artist for decades now, and being raised on rock and roll, I've always known who he was. So immediately as soon as Jeremy talks as Springsteen, you feel like he has it, like he really has it down. But before he even utters a word, he's singing on stage using his real voice. And he's singing Born to Run, which is a big Springsteen song, and doing it well. And it was a great introduction into it, because also the rest of the East Street Band is also really well cast. Like, they all look like the real people. So it was like a really great emergence point at the start of the film to get you into the fiber of the film. And usually when it comes to a music biopic, it's like almost birth to death type of thing. Like, this is what
Yeah.
we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on all of it. Like, and this film doesn't do that. Like you said in the synopsis of it, is it's a focused story about him writing the Nebraska album in 1982 and how personal that record was to him, how deeply he reached into his past, his childhood, his relationship with his father. But also you learn, like, through the movie, I learned, this might be common knowledge, but he was really obsessed with a Terrence Malick film called Badlands with Martin Sheen, which is
Okay.
a phenomenal movie. It's a Criterion film. It's just an incredible film. And it's about a serial killer, Charles Starkweather. So originally the song Nebraska was called Starkweather. Like, he had written it from an ambiguous point of view at first, but then made it like a first person point of view. And this movie also really gets into his writing process, which I think is very interesting. I always love the creative process. So when a movie tries to get it right, it really plays on my sympathies for sure. But it's also a movie about identifying mental health and spiraling out of control. Because
Right.
the interesting thing in this one is Springsteen never had this era of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, like the sex, drugs, alcohol. Like, there was never like that need to rehab. There was never that fight with addiction, which is so weird when it comes to a rock and roll story. Usually there's like adultery, womanizing, like all that kind of stuff wrapped
Yeah.
up in the whole experience. But that isn't present here. This is more about the struggle with your own trauma and the struggle with your own creation. And I think that's much more interesting. And I think it deserves a better mark than it's gotten on like Rotten Tomatoes, where it's like 61%. I really
Uh,
didn't feel it was that middle. I really came out on the good side of it. And I think Scott Cooper made a really great film. And he's a filmmaker that I've had issues with some of his work from time to time, including another biopic, Black Mass, with Johnny Depp playing Whitey Bulger. Had big problems with that film. Um, but this movie's got a really great supporting cast. Jeremy Strong is incredible playing Jon Landau, which is basically essentially Bruce's best friend, but also his manager and the man that takes care of everything for him. Because Nebraska is an album that didn't have a tour. There was no singles released from it. And they released basically direct copies of the tapes that he was recording onto the vinyl. So it wasn't your conventional sounding records. So it just shows how much that Atlantic Records believed in Bruce Springsteen, but that's because Jon Landau believes so much in Bruce Springsteen and loves him like a brother. So that's a really interesting, like the bromance, I think, is really interesting and endearing, and I really like it. And they tackle it from an intellectual level, and I thought that was great. But around them as well, David Krumholtz is in this one. Gabby Hoffman. I keep seeing Gabby Hoffman pop up and stuff. She was in that Benedict Cumberbatch series, Eric, that I was watching as kind of like a come down between the VIF nights. Like, I didn't want to watch any movie, so I just threw on a show I hadn't watched yet, and Eric was that show. And then at VIF, she's in the Mastermind, appears in the third act of that film, which I thought was really funny. Grace Gummer is in this one. She is Meryl Streep's daughter, actually. She has two daughters that are in films. She has Mamie Gummer and Grace Gummer. Grace plays Jeremy Strong's wife in this film. And then one of the producers in this one is played by Mark Maron, who was actually just at VIF with his documentary. We didn't get to go to the talk this year, but I heard it was really good, just like the Oz Perkins one was before it. Speaking of Oz Perkins, I might as well bring this up. Have you heard anything about the Park Theater in the last few days? The Park
no.
Theater on Canby. So Cineplex owns the Park Theater, and they wanted out of that building, like effective almost immediately, and they are now. because a couple days ago was the last night of screenings there. And they got that big 70 millimeter projector there. So they were going to leave and basically gut the building. And the Rio was like, we want that building. Can you sell it to us? And we'll take the 70 millimeter projector, blah, blah, blah. And it was like a battle behind the scenes that we don't really know what the story is, but it sounded like big corporation Cineplex just wanted to leave that building as a hollow husk, take the projector with them, which they have no use for. And just because they didn't want a competing movie theater to move into its spot. So, but what happened was through some of the main donors being like Mike Flanagan, Sean Baker, Osgood Perkins, Zach Lipinski, who did recently, he did Final Destination Bloodlines, and a few other people pooled their resources, and now the Rio is the proud owners of the Park Theater.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I think VIF might look a little different next year.
Yeah. Yeah, if we've got a new location. Then
yeah, on Canby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's like I like the Park Theater quite a bit. So it's going to be cool. But
we're going to get some actual comfortable seats. My God.
Yeah, I know, right? We'll see how it goes. But yeah, very, very cool. So interrupting this review just to say that. Let's move on to the nerdy bits of Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. The score for this one was done by somebody I've already talked about on the show before, Jeremiah Freites, who's also a band member from the group The Lumineers, who are a very great group. And recently, I talked about him recently because he also did the score for The Long Walk.
Okay.
Which will come into play a little bit later in this show. But it was shot by Masanobu Takayanagi, who has worked with Scott Cooper. This is his 5th time working with him. He's Scott Cooper's usual guy, but he's also done some really great films. He did Spotlight, which is a phenomenal true story film. Silver Linings Playbook with Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence, and The Gray, Liam Neeson versus Wolves. Nice. Yeah, nice. He shot that film. That movie's badass.
Yeah, it is.
It's still such a really badass film. A little bit of trivia for everybody. Jeremy Allen White plays harmonica and sings throughout this movie. I did bring up the fact that he sings in this movie, but he plays the harmonica as well. And Bruce Springsteen said he personally wanted Jeremy to play him and never considered anyone else. He said that after seeing him in The Bear, he felt like White already had the demeanor of a rock star. So
interesting.
Yeah, he saw that within him just watching that series. So I think that's really interesting, especially from artist to artist, because love, however you feel about Bruce Springsteen's music, you have to kind of recognize that he's an icon of a certain era. He's old school, but he's also adaptive to new ideas now. Like there was a documentary recently about him on Disney Plus, and I really enjoyed it because besides the major songs in his career, I'm not like a deep B-sides guy when it comes to Springsteen's music. But I might be more inclined to do that now as I get older, because it's just some of the folkier stuff just kind of becomes richer, I guess, with time. But as far as the film goes, I really dug this. I feel this is made for Bruce fans. But I feel like you might be duped if you think that this is the man's entire story, because this is just a very focused and important piece of his life. So take it with that grain of salt. All right, let's move on to the big Halloween pick. If you have this film in your theater, anywhere, any city nearby, you should go support this. Also, if you're in Canada, this is a Canadian film, just happens to be kind of executive produced and distributed by a big American director now, which is why I think it's getting a lot of press right now. Besides the fact that it's fucking awesome. This movie is one of Chloe's favorite genres of film as well. So I can't wait for her to see it. But this one is called Dream Eater.
A filmmaker documents her boyfriend's violent parasomnia during their holiday at a remote cabin in the woods, and as his sleepwalking gets worse, she believes the cause might be something far more sinister. Starring Mallory Drum and Alex Lee Williams. Written and directed by Justin Hewitt Draculic, Mallory Drum, and Alex Lee Williams.
So yeah, this movie shot in 9 days, 8 people total. Cast and crew.
Whoa.
That's it.
Okay,
That's
love
it.
that.
There are shots in this movie I still don't know how they fucking did it. Like into the third act, there is stuff in it, especially in the last 20 minutes that I'm like, whoa, what? How? One shot in particular, and I think you will get back to me on that one. But this is so well crafted. I really hate Alex. I really did not like him at all as a character. And then, but then, like, I think that's also a foil as well. I feel like it's character foil. Because I think it leads to stuff to the end. It's just brilliantly executed found footage film in a genre where there are some peppered here and there, some way better than others, some that grow on you or have like kind of like a cult following. Like, I don't know if you've seen The Outwaters yet. It's like almost a very first person found footage film.
I can't really remember.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
It's a really, really, really weird one and really disturbing. Just absolutely gonzo last 20 minutes of the film. Just insane. But it's just like some of these ones, unless you're a huge one, I mean, like getting universal distribution and all that kind of stuff, like Project X or some of those other films. A film like Dream Eater, unless it latches onto kind of an indie festival drive that Eli Roth is giving this film right now, just by saying Eli Roth presents at the top of the poster. These films are going to spread by word of mouth or like internet babble or Reddit or stuff like that. You're not going to really know a lot about these films, but I feel like Dream Eater has a chance to be something bigger, and it's dealing with something that is so terrifying, which is just like sleep problems. Because like the essential story is going up to this Airbnb cabin in the woods to document his sleep, and it goes wrong fast, and just beautifully done. I can't wait for you to see it. I can't wait to see how you feel. I think this film feels genuinely scary, and I quasi complained about this last week when we were talking about Black Phone 2. And it's not really a complaint. It's just like we've seen a lot. So getting scared isn't a common thing for us. But I feel like with this movie, and from what I'm hearing, Shelby Oaks kind of has that as well.
Okay.
I feel like we might have gotten actually something genuinely scary this year. So I'm very excited about that and excited to see what you think about it. So to be continued on more thoughts on this one for sure. But let's move on to something you can now pick up on Blu-ray. It's right on the blue, and I'm already upset. I'm doing this as a favor to Lionsgate because they were emailing me a bunch over during VIFF, and I wasn't getting back to it, and I totally forgot. I meant to get back to it, so I felt bad. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll send me a copy. Because I looked at the email and I was like, oh, it's like a Christmas comedy movie. And it's got Judy Greer and Pete Holmes in it. Okay, cool. I like both of them a lot. So this could be fun. So they send it to me. And this is about a week and a half before Halloween. So it's already weird that I have a Christmas movie to throw on for Halloween. So it's just fucking weird. But I put it on, and the Kingdom Story Company
No.
is the one of the beginning tags after Lionsgate, and I went, oh shit. And then we have a narration basically talking about these bad kids in town and all the bad things they do. And one of the bad things they do is take the Lord's name in vain. And my second bell went off. I was like, oh no. So then it turns out like Judy Greer's character is given this pageant to take over. You know what? I'm giving you the synopsis. This movie is called The Best Christmas Pageant Ever.
Nobody is ready for the mayhem and surprises that ensue when 6 of the worst youngsters disrupt the town's yearly Christmas performance. Starring Judy Greer, Pete Holmes, Molly Bell Wright, and Lauren Graham. Directed by Dallas Jenkins.
Yes, and it's the voice of Lauren Graham, as far as I know, because to finish what I was saying about it, is so Judy Greer has to take over making this pageant, and she brings these bad kids, this bad family into it, and so on the first day of rehearsals, this is as far as I got. On the first day of rehearsals, they're trying to figure out all the roles, and of course, the kids, the bad kids, don't know the story. So she has to go back to the beginning, essentially. So then she basically picks up a Bible and starts reading to them from it. And I said, my third bell, the third strike came up because I said, is she literally going to read the Bible to me? Yeah, I'm fucking out. So, boo. Big old boo. But I do have some nerdy bits because I can't really talk much about it because I did turn the fucking movie off after that point. Like, nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. But it was shot by C. Kim Miles, who shot Can I Get a Witness?
Oh!
Wow, right?
Wow!
Wow, there's that
Yay!
full circle moment. Also directed a film with Woody Harrelson that I really enjoyed called Champions. It's a really sweet little film from one of the Farrelly brothers. And did the documentary Still, a Michael J. Fox movie, which is a fantastic documentary. Like, so damn good. You can tell he's Vancouver local because he also does a lot of television as well. And he did The Flash, which was on CW, Yellow Jackets, which is all locally filmed as well, and Mortal Kombat Legacy. It was a web series that they did, I want to say in the 2010s, maybe late 2000s. It had like Jerry Ryan with Sonya Blade and stuff. Like, it was like Kevin Tancaron made it, and I think they made 2 seasons of it. The first season was like a straight up web, like YouTube show, and then season 2 they actually put some money into it. But yeah, it's besides the movies that we've gotten, it's the only other Mortal Kombat live action property. But yeah, he shot all of that. But yeah, best Christmas pageant ever, more like shittiest and most preachy Christmas pageant ever. Again, if you can't give me fucking substance and all you're doing is shoving message at me, I don't care. I do not care. I will not care. And how dare you make me mad at Judy Greer and Pete Holmes? How dare you? Especially Judy Greer, because she was the one reading the Bible at me.
Why, though?
Terrible. Terrible. Okay, Chloe. Now it's time for a big old list. So just kind of just go to sleep, maybe. I don't know. It's going to be sleepy time. But I added a whole shitload of stuff to my library. That's right. New to the library. I got a lot of television. I got some older movies in here. Let's start off with Elsbeth Season 2. This is on DVD. This is part of the second spinoff to the Good Wife universe. We'll say I'm so used to Marvel stuff, so everything's a universe. So this is the Good Wife universe, or the what the hell's her name in it? Something Floric. The hell's Juliana Margulies' name in it? Speaking of Juliana Margulies and off topic, all of ER is coming to Crave. Yeah, I know you liked ER, so. And Juliana Margulies was on ER. But yeah, this is the second spinoff because Good Fight also came out and has now ended its run. But Elsbeth is still going. It's led by the adorable Carrie Preston, who makes everything so watchable. And Wendell Pierce is in this, and I really, really like him ever since The Wire. Just been obsessed with that dude. It's just a fun series. It's still kind of procedural at its core. Let's hit a movie. You ever seen Hall Pass with Owen Wilson and Jason Sudeikis?
I feel like I did.
Yeah.
I know about the film, and I feel like I did watch it.
Yeah. So it came out in 2011. I
Yeah.
think Christina Applegate is in it too. I think she's Jason Sudeikis' wife in this. But I mean, this is a Farrelly brothers film. This is both of them together when they're making their crazy comedies and stuff. Not one of the best ones. I brought Jen to see this in theaters, and it's slightly forgettable, but I saw it on the list to grab on Blu-ray, so I was like, what the hell? Hall Pass it is. Let's go back to TV for a second. So you'll never have heard of this one at all. This is a complete series. It's called Spencer for Hire. It features an actor named Robert Urich, who is a Canadian actor. And it's like he's like a private investigator. So it's like one of those kind of serials way back, because this ran for 3 seasons and ran from 1985 to 1988. So I would have been 4 to 7 years old when it aired. But this also co-starred Avery Brooks. It was kind of his sidekick in it, Hawk. Avery Brooks would go on to play Captain Sisko on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So a very con-heavy career later in his life. And it was actually the inspiration for, well, it was the Netflix movie Spencer Confidential with Mark Wahlberg was actually kind of a remake of this series, of the books that this series was based on. And it was just kind of a throwaway action comedy with that Peter Berg directed. But I've never actually seen Spencer for Hire. They didn't even have any reruns of it in my TV watching times. So it'll be interesting to check out. Also complete series and Canadian, I got La Femme Nikita complete series. It's 5 seasons. The show ran from 97 to 01. And featured Peter Wilson, who played Nikita, Roy Dupuis, who is a prominent French-Canadian actor. You would actually know pretty recently who Roy Dupuis is, because he plays the Prime Minister in the film Rumors from Guy Madden. Yeah, so that's Roy Dupuis. So he's kind of the love interest, badass guy in Nikita. And this show was actually created by Joel Surnow, who would go on to create the show 24 after this. And actually a bunch of the actors that feature in 24, especially on the Canadian side of it, appear in La Femme Nikita as well, which I think is pretty cool. This one just it'll piss you off just because just the handling of it. So the series' original cancellation in 2000, before they give it an extra season, was due to a dispute between Peter Wilson, the lead, and the producers of the show over her being offered the role of Jean Grey in X-Men. She was asking them to be released from her contract early so she could do this film, which would have made her career explode, right? Yeah. The producers refused, and then she refused to renew her contract, and then the producers blacklisted her, and she never had a career again in Hollywood. It was over. She was in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen with Sean Connery as a main character, as one of the main group. And she's badass in that movie, but that's all. And then that movie flopped as well, so she was Never given anything ever again.
That's the kind of shit that pisses me off about Hollywood, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you piss off one person and you're done. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's over, and it breeds so much misconduct. And the biggest thing would, like, it's not applicable in this situation, but it has been since the conception of Hollywood. But sexual assault, like, it's just a horrific breeding ground, and I hate that so much about the film industry.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's a sad thing. But I've only seen sporadic episodes of this show on like Showcase and stuff here and there, so it'll be cool to dive into the entire show and for that Canadiana sense. I got a couple. Let's go do a couple more movies here. Detroit Rock City. Do you know anything about this film? Came out in 1999, so it was a year before you were born. But this is basically about four best friends trying to get into a Kiss concert, which is kind of interesting to talk about now because Ace Frehley just passed away recently. So, yeah, I really like the cast in this one. Edward Furlong's in this one, Giuseppe Andrews, Lynn Shay from the Insidious movies plays
I
one of the
love Lin
moms.
Shaye.
Yeah, she plays one of the moms in this. And Lynn Shay in comedy is really fucking good.
The film that I told you to watch like last year or something, Room for Rent.
Mm-hmm.
She's like the main character, and she's renting a room, and it's supposed to be like a thriller, like mystery horror, but she just adds these comedic elements into it that are just so fucking good, and she's just hilarious. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, big fan of Lynn Shay for sure.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's generational. Like, we are big fans of Lynn Shay. But Detroit Rock City is one of those teen romp movies that's just a lot of fun. And Melanie Linsky's in it, speaking of Yellow Jackets, like I was earlier. Also, I have a movie called Supernova. And this isn't the shitty sci-fi film from the year 2000, with Angela Bassett and James Spader, because that movie sucks. This movie is a deeply soulful and tragic drama from 2020, the year that movies essentially died and we forgot anything that came out in 2020. So it's a really great film that everyone probably missed. It was written, directed by a guy named Harry McQueen, who is a fantastic writer, featuring two beautiful performances by Stanley Tucci and Colin Firth. Very, very, very recommended. Back to the TV. I got on Blu-ray. I have to mention that La Femme Nikita is DVD. And Spencer for Hire is also DVD. But on Blu-ray, I got a series called Emergency. And it aired for 7 seasons from 1972 to 1979. And essentially, this is like the template for a lot of your hospital procedures that even happen now. Like, Grey's Anatomy is not going to have 26 seasons if Emergency doesn't air these 7 seasons in the mid 70s. The last season basically being cobbled of a bunch of TV movies. But Kevin Tighe comes out of this this series. He's kind of really the only notable name that I kind of notice in this one. But I hear that this is kind of a staple for a lot of people that grew up in this era, so I wanted to check that one out. Next up is a film that I'm going to quiz you if you remember, because I got on Blu-ray now, The Ant Bully. Do you remember this movie?
Oh my God. Yes.
So I got it because I already have it on DVD. I have your DVD copy of it. But I upgraded it to Blu-ray because it's a Nicolas Cage movie. Like, he's one of the voices in it, so I'm like, yeah, okay. But there is like A-list in this movie. Julia Roberts is a voice in this movie. Meryl Streep is a voice in this movie.
Why? Why?
Bruce Campbell is a voice in this movie.
Bruce Campbell, I can understand, okay, because he's just a weird guy who does weird things.
But Academy Award winners?
Yeah, like what is going on?
Do you remember the premise of this movie?
He's like a dick to ants. He burns ants with a magnifying
No,
glass, and then he
that's
gets
a squirt
shrunk,
gun.
right?
It's a squirt gun. I'm maybe
Yeah.
in the book as a magnifying glass because that would actually be better and make more like malicious sense. But no, it's a squirt gun. He floods the anthill.
Yeah,
and then they
and then he gets
sneak
shrunk.
into his house and shrink him. Like, and then they enslave him essentially. They're like, you have to work in the mines. Like, what the fuck?
And this movie came out after A Bug's Life, so it was like
it's like 06, 07, I want to say.
Yeah, so it was just like you just saw that and you were like, oh, me too. Like,
yeah, let's do this. Now's our time to release our fucked up ant movie.
Let's do this, but worse.
Yeah.
But weirder and what the fuck's going on? But with A-list.
Yeah, with A-list. Streep's in. That's all our money we need there. Yeah, just wild shit once you get into the meat and potatoes of what this thing's all about. Speaking of which, do you remember Dougal?
I don't want to talk about Dougal.
Do you remember Gooby?
Gooby?
He was like that was live action. He was like a Sasquatch guy. Like a big Teddy Ruxpin.
I feel like I do, and I don't.
I feel like it's got Eugene Levy in it. Eugene Levy is like the guy chasing him.
Why?
Yeah.
the like mid 2000s area, like post 2004, pre 2009, was like the weirdest time for children's movies. I'm gonna even include 2009 because of the movie 9. Who said that movie was for children?
No, that was definitely not for children.
I went and saw that shit when I was 9. We went and saw that shit in theaters.
Yeah, I know, but I wasn't treating you like a 9-year-old, remember?
Yeah, no, that was 2 years after we went and saw Cloverfield.
Yeah, so
also
I wasn't
in theaters.
Yeah, exactly. So I wasn't theatrically. I never treated you like a kid.
But like, it is treated as a children's movie.
It is.
Like, it's kind of lumped into the same group as Coraline. But there's literally a dead child pictured in 9.
Yeah, I know.
Murdered by a nuclear blast.
I know. It's not playing for cuddles, that's for sure.
No. It's a fantastic movie though.
Oh, so good.
God.
So good. I got 2 left here. You're almost done. We're almost done. So on Blu-ray, and I got this off of the list, and then I realized, oh shit, this is also a Criterion release, so I'm gonna have to rebuy it again eventually. But I got the film Being There. This is Peter Sellers. He won an Academy Award for this one. Shirley MacLaine is in this one as well. Just a beautiful, beautiful film. Probably one of the greatest Peter Sellers performances ever, and such a poignant one too. I've wanted this film for a really long time, so that's probably why my brain just took over in ordering it. And finally, and there's nobody happier about this one than my wife right now, but I now have in the collection for her to watch whenever she wants, Little House on the Prairie, the complete series on Blu-ray, remastered. Need I say anything more? I feel like a lot of people know what Little House on the Prairie is. All right, well, we're almost ready to head out of here, but I got some reminders before we go. So out on 4K this week, there's some really great stuff. Well, not this week. This is a lot of catch up. Let's be honest about it. Like that segment before with all the stuff that's in my collection now, this is catching up too. So you can find copies of this if people haven't already jumped on it already. The first one is an Aussie horror film from a guy that really just knows how to put the right grit and tension into his films. This film is called Dangerous Animals with Jai Courtney, featuring one of the best performances by Jai Courtney I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's probably got one of my favorite shots for the year for sure still. I reviewed this one on the June 6th episode after it came out. Did you review it when it came out too?
We reviewed it at the same time.
We reviewed it together. Okay, so we both reviewed it, so you can go back and watch the June 6th episode. It's part of the things that makes us so happy that we get pre-screeners. When we get a pre-screener, that's like a good movie like this.
Yeah.
Also on 4K, probably already got it if you're a big Marvel person, but Fantastic Four, The First Steps is out on Blu-ray. I had a lot of fun with this one, and you don't need to be all versed in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to get this film. This movie stands on its own. Pedro is so great, but Vanessa Kirby really carries this film. And I like Joseph Quinn a lot, and I love Ebon Moss-Baccarat. So it's just a win on every level. I reviewed that one on the August 1st episode, so you can go back and find it there. Also on 4K, finish out your collection. The saga is complete. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is on 4K. This movie is not the best of the Mission Impossible ones. I felt a little bit let down from it, but it's still a badass Tom Cruise movie that has the most insane stunts you've ever seen. I reviewed that one on the May 30th episode. That one took a long time to get to home release for sure. Also on 4K, I have a Blu-ray. I have Chloe's Blu-ray as well. Weapons you can now get. I think this is one of the most interesting films of the year. It's one that it's quite polarizing as well. I feel like there's a lot of I hated it or I loved it.
Yeah.
But I reviewed this one on the August 15th episode, and then Chloe reviewed this one on the September 12th episode. So check our full reviews out there. And lastly, on a beautiful A24 pressing, if you want to get the 4K, but on a limited VVS Blu-ray pressing in Canada only, you can get Eddington, which is the latest film from Ari Aster. This is his pandemic nightmare and is done in such brilliant fashion. It is one, I think, the most important films of the year, one of my favorite films of the year. And I reviewed that on the July 25th episode. And honestly, it saved my night that night because it was the film I watched after I Know What You Did Last Summer. So we all know how I felt about that. So
Yeah.
let's move on to butts.
Yeah, so I've got two this week. Let's start out with the ending of season 3 of Daryl Dixon. Yeah, basically what I started with. It's pretty consistent throughout the season. Everything that's interesting or good just gets run over by something annoying and stupid. Nothing matters, nothing changes, no progress ever gets made. Like nothing happens. Like all the big things that were kind of supposed to happen this season just don't. And even things that they build up along the season also don't happen. And then people die, but it's nobody who's important. Um like it's simple watching. There's no edge to anything. I do appreciate that we get more zombie involvement rather than just politics. Um, and like some things are satisfying, but it doesn't last. Um, and it just gets reneged immediately. Like I I don't know. It's just a big nothing. Like it's like a burger that looks really pretty on the outside, and then you bite into it, and it's like the gray goop, like
Oh,
from
yeah.
the SpongeBob.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's that. So I'm just kind of disappointed, and I'm Jesus. Um,
You're
I'm just kind of
Jesus?
hoping. No, the cat jumped on the chair.
I know. I couldn't let it slide.
I am Jesus,
Oh,
actually.
good.
Oh shit! Now I have to start quoting the Bible at me. You're gonna morph into Judy Greer and start. I'll never be in the Christmas pageant.
Nope, never.
But yeah, I'm hoping for more from season 4. Just anything to happen, anything that they say is going to happen, anything that they build up to happen,
Yeah.
like anything. I'm begging for anything, anything of substance. Anyways, moving on from that, onto something better, something way better. The Long Walk. Oh my god, I was speechless for a lot of this film, just like literally on the edge of my seat, just like mesmerized by this film, and like the emotional depth that they achieve with this when it's just boys walking down a road, like, is insane. A lot of the deaths really got me. All of them, actually, pretty much. They're all brutal in their own ways.
Yeah.
Like when what was his name? Hulkner? The guy with the glasses and he's trying to write the book.
Oh yeah, Harkness.
Harkness, yeah.
Yeah.
Like his ankle, dude, after the hill, just, oh my god. Like, I feel like the way that I reacted to it is like the exact way that you react to fucked up things. Like, I was like, damn, I sounded like my dad there. Um, yeah, Jesus. And with Collie, the Native American, a couple of the lines that he said, I was like, that sounded really Canadian. And I looked him up and he is Canadian.
Yeah, Jay Ojek, yeah. He's actually I think he's in the It series.
Okay, cool.
The new Welcome to Derry.
His, oh my god, his character, the way that his character ends, it, like, again, I was speechless. Like, it was powerful. Like the chanting, like, oh man.
And Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson are so damn good.
Yeah, that's a given. I am actually not familiar with the lead.
Oh, Cooper Hoffman. He's Dick Ebersol in Saturday Night, which is really good, about the night of the very first Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
Excellent. He's really good in that. And he's in the Paul Thomas Anderson film Licorice Pizza, which I really recommend. He's so damn good in that. And his dad was Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, I assumed that. Yeah.
And then David Johnson is from Alien Romulus and the HBO series Industry.
Yeah. I haven't seen Cooper Hoffman in anything, so his performance blew me away as well. Just everybody, literally everybody in this film is perfection. Even Charlie Plummer's character, like we're supposed to hate his character, and I didn't. Because realistically, this movie is just a group of broken teenage boys, and it's hard to kind of blame them for anything that they say or do in this situation. And maybe I'm just so jaded, absolutely destroyed by the current political climate, but this felt like America to me. Like,
or what they're heading towards.
Exactly. Like, I was like, I literally said watching this, I'm like, this is America 5 years from now. Like,
yeah.
And I feel like that added just another level of harrowing to it. So I'm glad that this movie came out when it did, because it does, for me at least, really affect how impactful it is.
Absolutely. Cool. Yeah. Another great recommendation for sure. But that is it for this episode. But what are we going to talk about next week? Well, next week, there was just a lot of shifting and moving of titles that I needed to move around. So there are some stuff in here that I might have already brought up before. But firstly, and Chloe and I are both going to be able to check this out, Nuremberg is getting its release. I know this is a film that Chloe was looking forward to quite a bit with her interest in Nazi Germany and everything in historical sense. We must, in this day and age, like Chloe said, we must specify that this is not for creepy reasons. Something we saw at VIFF is finally making its debut in theaters. Christie, the Christy Martin biopic with Sydney Sweeney. So we'll give our thoughts about that in full next week. Also, Emma Stone has reteamed with Yorgos Lanthimos for Begonia. It is playing in Kelowna, so I might be able to get to it this weekend. Also in limited release Anniversary, this has got a good cast to it, including Kyle Chandler and Dylan O'Brien and Phoebe Deniver. It looks really, really interesting, kind of like a political thriller. A film that I loved at VIFF, and I put it in my top 3. Nouvelle Vague is finally getting its release. It'll be out on Halloween. It's out now. You can watch it now and then see our thoughts about it next week. I implore you to watch it now. If you're in Vancouver, it's at the 5th Avenue right now. Sit in the balcony. Trust me. And I've seen it. I just didn't have room to put it in the show this week, but Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. I saw it. It is gorgeous. I cannot wait to talk about it. But by the time that review will be out, it's going to be on Netflix for everybody. You should have seen it in theaters by that point. But that brings us to a close here. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Threads, and Blue Sky at The Stevel Dead.
You can find me on Letterboxd at HoneyBunChloe.
You can also find all of the episodes for this show on stevestebbing.ca or go to the YouTube page and please like and subscribe. You can also find us on shiftheads.ca. You can hear me a few different places. First, on After the Credits with Marina, Bill, and Melissa. You can find those episodes at atcpod.ca. You can also hear me on Tremble, the Horror Podcast with Kurt and Taylor. You can find those episodes at 3angrynerds.com. And you can also hear me now on Kelowna's AM 1150 every Friday just after the 8:30 news break. And you can also hear me on Shane Hewitt and the Night Shift, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Toronto's News Talk 1010, found on the iHeartRadio network. You can also get all of those episodes wherever you get your favorite podcast. And that does it for us. We've emptied out our list for this week. So until next week, bye-bye.